Well, I think the answer for us is we have a lot of high-quality jobs. We have a lot of jobs that pay well. But there are also jobs that need very credentials of all kinds and also a lot of skills. So what we were faced with was a situation where we didn't have enough people to fill those jobs and a lot of people who would have wanted to move up to those jobs. So we really wanted to put together a situation where they could learn and they could get the education they wanted and we could fill the job. So it was really a double benefit for us. So that's really why we did it. But we also think in the long run that people who don't have an opportunity to move up are not going to be happy workers and are not going to be the kinds of people that are going to stay with us and really contribute what we really want them to contribute, which is the kind of commitment that's going to make them great working with patients and really improve the quality of the hospital. So for us, it was really a dual win. Well, I think in part it's imagination. It's in part creativity and thinking about what are the possibilities. You know, we have two problems. One is we can't fill jobs. Two is we have people who would like to move up and can't do it. So then I think the question is how do we put those two things together? And I think it's really in many ways it was a question of being creative about problem solving and then trying to put together the funds to do it. And we cobbled this together. I think someone used the phrase today, braiding different funding sources. And that's what we did, partly from the hospital, partly from the public sector, partly from foundations. And we were lucky because we were at sort of the forefront of it, and people thought it was a fairly novel idea, which it's not anymore. I think a lot of places are doing that. So we were able to get in at the bottom floor and build some things. Well, it may be a barrier, but I also think that most hospitals and other kinds of institutions have tuition reimbursement funds, for one thing. And if you can target those to the right people for the right kinds of jobs, you can use that in part as your base. Another is that the cost of turnover is very high. So if you begin to calculate the cost of turnover or the cost of paying overtime and also bringing in temporary workers, if you begin to think about the cost of those things, you can then redirect those funds toward training people and beginning not in the short term, but in the long term, to be able to fill those jobs and solve your problems.